States government prepared for 2026 hurricane season, but urges citizens to remain vigilant. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service establishes new police unit to guard foreign diplomats in the country. Japan and Taiwan grow closer as concerns over China's regional influence rise. And in sports, Ireland women beat West Indies women to move top of Ivara Tri-Nation 2020 series. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV's news and sports this evening.
Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. I'm Twyla Thompson with the details. Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday says that despite predictions of a below average hurricane season, the high level of uncertainty means people must remain vigilant. In addressing the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, the Prime Minister said his government is prepared for any eventuality, but urged citizens to do their part by staying informed and putting emergency plans in place.
Our government stands ready to support you in your preparations for and responses to any tropical storm or hurricane that may affect us this season. Fellow Vincentians, I urge you to do your part to ensure that as a country, we are prepared for this hurricane season. We pray we will not need all of the measures and the preparations that we have put in place, but we cannot take the chance, and we must do what we can. Please, act now.
The Prime Minister outlined several preparedness measures undertaken by the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, including restocking emergency warehouses, inspecting shelters, and conducting training exercises.
During the last few months, the organization embarked on a number of activities to bolster its readiness for the hurricane season. They include the following. 1. The newly retrofitted National Warehouse in Camden Park has been restocked. 2. Cleaning, restocking, and inventory checks at all satellite warehouses throughout the country is ongoing. 3. Shelter inspections for all shelters to ensure that they are in a state of readiness to accommodate evacuees is completed. 4. Training in initial damage assessment for new housing assessors and personnel at the Ministries of Transport, Infrastructure and Physical Planning, Family, Gender Affairs and Persons with Disabilities, Social Welfare, Community Empowerment and National Heritage, and at Braxa were completed ahead of the hurricane season.
It was also noted that 2 upgraded warehouses in Barely and Georgetown will be fully operational and ready to support emergency response efforts during any storm or hurricane in 2026.
Work has commenced on the National Supply Chain Policy and Operational Framework. The satellite warehouse facilities will be transformed into Community Emergency Operations Centers, EOCs, and information hubs as part of the rollout of the Resilient EOC project. This project seeks to upgrade the 7 satellite warehouses with a new and enhanced telecommunication network, increased water storage capacity, and greater energy capacity through the installation of photovoltaic systems. Phase 1 of the project will focus on upgrading warehouses in Barely and Georgetown.
Residents are being reminded to follow advisories issued by the SVG Meteorological Services and to contact NEMO in the event of an emergency. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday is currently out of state, attending the 56th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, being held in Nassau, Barbados, from the 1st to the 5th of June 2026. The meeting, themed Forging the Caribbean's Future, Strategic Solutions for Uncertain Times, will bring together regional leaders, finance ministers, central bank governors, development partners, and private sector representatives to discuss critical issues affecting the Caribbean's economic resilience and sustainable development. During the meeting, Prime Minister Friday is expected to take part in a series of high-level discussions on regional development, financing, climate resilience, debt sustainability, the energy transition, and strategies to strengthen economic growth across the Caribbean. The Prime Minister will also engage with fellow regional leaders and develop partners on matters of mutual interest to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the wider Caribbean. The Prime Minister is accompanied by Ambassador and Financial Advisor, Mr. Kevin Pope, Director of Economic Planning, Mr. Ricardo Frederick, and Protection Officer Corporal Desric Kwashi. The SVG Meteorological Services has received funding to further strengthen its forecasting capabilities and improve the delivery of weather information to the Vincentian public. Speaking on Monday at the Wet Hurricane Outlook Forum, which coincided with the start of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, manager of the SVG Meteorological Services, Billy Jeffers, said citizens can expect a greater emphasis on impact-based forecasting and reporting.
Moving forward, a critical pillar of our modernization strategy worth highlighting is the implementation of an end-to-end impact-based forecasting system, and this is a new approach to weather forecasting being implemented globally. It is people-centered, and what it does, it delivers a clearer, more actionable messaging to our citizens. And joining us to kickstart the implementation is Dr. Campbell. Thanks to Dr. Campbell, and I want to say a special thanks to NOAA and the Bureau of Disaster and Humanitarian Response for providing.
Jeffers also stressed the importance of treating all forecasts and weather advisory with urgency, noting that timely action can significantly reduce risks and potential losses. He emphasized that disaster preparedness is a shared responsibility and urged all citizens to play their part by being informed, developing emergency plans, and taking the necessary precautions throughout the hurricane season.
We leverage our collective knowledge, we share data, and in the case of the Met Services, we present on the seasonal outlook. And the aim basically is to refine our national planning. The goal is clear, and it should always be clear, to protect the vulnerable communities, to safeguard our infrastructure, and to preserve our social and economic well-being. This gathering therefore reflects our ongoing commitment to bridging the gap between the climate science and practical solutions. So as we convene for this Wet Hurricane Season Outlook Forum, I just want to make an appeal to everyone. Let us recommit to building a climate resilient St. Vincent. Let us not view the early warnings as just a mere technical jargon, right? But as a foundation for unified action. So this hurricane season, whether we're facing a storm, God forbid, heat waves, flash flood, we must be ready to respond.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines continues to experience elevated concentrations of Saharan dust haze in the atmosphere. Over the past few days, a thick plume of Saharan dust has affected the country, promoting an advisory from the SVG Meteorological Services. Speaking on radio, meteorological forecaster Gregory Cato said that SVG is currently experiencing peak concentrations of Saharan dust.
Saharan dust, as the name suggests, it's from the Saharan region. Well, we're actually contending with it now, but May, June, July is about pretty much the peak. So we are seeing, the concentrations outside for the past few days very high. Well, actually, in the forecast, it basically says moderate haze, right?
Yesterday was high.
It's actually comparable with the haze amount that we saw back in 2020, was it? 2020 or
Cato said that while the Saharan dust haze is expected to gradually thin out over the next few days, it will remain present in the atmosphere. He urged people, particularly those with respiratory conditions, to remain vigilant and take the necessary precautions.
It's pretty much, it causes concern for persons with respiratory illnesses and so forth. We will have to contend with it, unfortunately, for the next few months. And as we are seeing, we're actually seeing more and more episodes across the year, right? But May, June, July is pretty much the peak. And we just started June. So it's something that we'll be contending with for a bit. The episode that we're seeing now, I looked at a model. We're seeing somewhat a bit of improvement coming in for, I think, this afternoon into tomorrow. But I'm seeing still concentration across the Grenadines and so forth. So basically, for the next few days, we still will be seeing some dust days.
The Ministry of Health has also advised the public to avoid prolonged exposure to the Saharan dust. People are encouraged to stay indoors as much as possible, and if they must, go outdoors to wear a mask. The Ministry of Health says some of the symptoms associated with exposure to Saharan dust include coughing, sneezing, runny nose, and an itchy throat. People with asthma and other respiratory illnesses are at a higher risk of experiencing breathing difficulties or asthma attacks. Fuel price increase to impact farmers. This and other stories coming up when we return with more local news. Stay with us.
Welcome to Star.
Welcome to the upgraded Star Limited,
where we offer to almost all your household items.
They've expanded their range to sofas, dining and patio sets, beds and mattresses, wardrobes, kitchen cabinets, office furniture. That's just a few from the luxurious collection. Not forgetting their signature quality windows, doors, rails, and bathroom enclosures. Journey on up to Star, where the friendly sales clerk is happy to assist. Star Limited, where quality meets style.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of. One that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
This Tuesday, June 2nd, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $82,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $82,000. This Tuesday, June 2nd, you have to be in it to win it.
Welcome back. Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Rural Transformation, Honorable Israel Bruce, has warned that rising fuel prices are expected to have a significant impact on farmers and agricultural production across the country. Speaking during the launch of National Preparedness Plan for Food and Nutrition Security Crisis at the UE Global Campus site recently, Minister Bruce highlighted the challenges that increased fuel costs pose for the local farming sector. He noted that many vehicles and equipment used in agricultural operations rely heavily on fuel, and higher fuel prices will inevitably increase production costs for farmers.
You are requesting to have a great deal of processed food, and it has to be shipped to us, and the transshipment point is blocked, and it is escalating the cost of shipment. It means, therefore, that the cost of the food you are going to have is going to be far more expensive. Farmers have to consistently use their farm vehicles. I see quite a lot of them with F-plates. Some of them look too polished to be carrying F-plates, to say the least. But the important point is that they depend on fuel to carry those vehicles. And when we can't get the fuel at the regular price, because of wars again, it means the cost of production on the part of the farmer goes up, because he or she has to travel to and from his farm and needs petrol to so do, to take planting materials, to bring reap crops and so forth from the farm. It is increasing his production costs. He's going to pass it on to us.
Minister Bruce stated that although St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not directly involved in the international conflicts currently taking place around the world, the country continues to feel the economic effects. He pointed out that disruptions in global supply chains and fluctuations in energy prices have ripple effects that reach local agricultural markets.
So you might say, what happens between Iran and Israel and the US really doesn't bother us because it's far away. But it's not true. It is having direct impact on us. I looked at the fuel situation in the Eastern Caribbean. Since December, all other OECS countries have been incrementally increasing their cost of fuel at the pump. St. Vincent and the Grenadines decided we will not. Of course, it requires a particular degree of political gamesmanship to undertake such an exercise. And I don't want for you to be distracted by the reference of the political gamesmanship. The important point that is being made here is that the cost for your food and the cost for your fuel, if we had followed the trend across the region, would have meant that you would have been already paying more at the pumps.
The discussions formed part of ongoing efforts to strengthen the country's resilience and ensure that systems are in place to respond effectively to any future food security crisis. Ambassador to Suriname, His Excellency Subhash Gupta, attended his first Indian Arrival Day observance in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The event was held on Sunday at the Indian Bay Beach, where there was a reenactment ceremony of the arrival of Indians in this country. The ambassador underscored the importance of how the Indians' ancestors have shaped the culture and traditions in the region, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The long voyage of ships made them courageous and resilient, and after their arrival, they started nurturing the plantation economy in this part of the world by setting aside natural calamities as well as the climatic challenges. Our history is not just a migration story, but also a journey of culture and tradition. They also carried with them the philosophy of what I pick up from the Latin is a labor omnia vincit. That means hard work conquers all.
Representing opposition leader Dr. Ralph Gonsalves at the ceremony was opposition Senator Carlos James, who pointed out the resilience and discipline of the Indian ancestors who have contributed immensely to the development of this country.
We all should be proud of us Vincentians and how we are able to blend in that kaleidoscope and in that melting pot in our rich history and our diversity as a people. Importantly, the significance of marking this occasion. We know of the struggles of our brothers and sisters of the Indian community. And I want to single out here how indeed proud I am of many of our ancestors who came before us. Their discipline, their tenacity. You look at every family of Indian descent, and no matter the social strata, wherever they are, from professionals to farmers and fisher folk, they were excellent at what they did.
The ceremony featured 2026 Guyana chutney artist Sonia Singh, as there was also henna painting and Indian food served. Students from St. Vincent and the Grenadines Grammar Schools gathered this morning for the St. Vincent Grammar School UNESCO ASNET Student Leadership Conference, where discussions focused on the theme, School Violence, No Longer a Distant Threat, but a Frightening Reality. The conference brought together students, educators, and stakeholders to examine the growing concerns surrounding violence in schools and explore practical solutions aimed at creating safer learning environments. Regional Director of UNESCO, Eric Fault, emphasized the importance of empowering young people to lead efforts aimed at reducing violence within schools.
No matter what, I think the theme of this gathering, focusing on violence in schools, could not be more timely or important. Violence in schools has always existed. I remember myself as a very young boy, age 6, being the victim of intimidation and violence. But truly, this has taken a whole different perspective worldwide. This is an issue that UNESCO has been focusing on a lot in the last few years, and we have collectively decided as a forum where ministers and others meet that this is an issue that we need to tackle more decisively.
Meanwhile, local Secretary General of UNESCO, Janelle Henry Rose, highlighted the organization's long-standing commitment to youth development. In her remarks, she reflected on the many years of work UNESCO has dedicated to supporting and empowering young people, encouraging students to continue being active participants in shaping positive change within their communities.
We're here to celebrate a promise. The promise that young people can lead the way to a more peaceful, just, and sustainable future. ASP.NET, UNESCO ASP.NET, gives you that platform to turn ideas into action, to practice dialogue, and to build bridges across differences. UNESCO's work in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has helped build a culture of peace through a number of practical programs that strengthen education, protect our heritage, environmental protection. So we would have done work in climate change, disaster risk reduction. We had a number of students or teachers across our nation having scholarships or fellowships to different parts of the world.
Throughout the conference, students shared their perspectives on the issue of school violence, discussing its impact on learning, mental health, and overall school culture. Participants also proposed various approaches to addressing the problem.
Today, I stand before you to argue that school violence is not simply the fault of bad children. Instead, it is the result of broken social values. If we truly wish to solve this crisis, we must stop treating the symptoms and begin addressing the root causes. Primarily, school violence reflects the decline of our social foundations.
Addressing this crisis requires urgent and united action from families, schools, communities, and the government to restore order, strengthen values, and protect the well-being of every student.
When young people constantly consume lyrics which glorify violence, such as the song Just Do It by Med's Boss, we should not be surprised when violence begins to appear in our classrooms. School violence in SVG is no longer just a schoolyard fight. It is a frightening reality, and if we don't act decisively, we will have more injuries and more death.
Many aspects of our society today unintentionally normalize aggressive ways of resolving conflict. Children are constantly exposed to verbal abuse, physical violence, weapons, and criminal behavior, social media, and even their entertainment. As a result, the society continues to shift blame without truly addressing the root cause of the problem. Let me hasten to say, while one finger may be pointing at the children, the other four fingers are pointing back at society. One major factor contributing to school violence is a lack of parental supervision and guidance within our homes. This leaves our children vulnerable to harmful external influences such as gang culture and criminal activities.
Organizers expressed hope that discussions and recommendations emerging from the conference will contribute to meaningful action and help foster safer, more inclusive educational spaces across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service establishes new police unit to guard foreign diplomats in the country. This from the region when we return. Stay with us.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Beautiful white and black sand beaches, lush mountains and valleys, rivers, hidden waterfalls, and multiple islands and islets. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a friendly people, welcoming tourists from all over the world with exotic boutique and luxury hotels and a hospitable business environment. Let's make all tourists welcome at our international airport, on cruises, on yachts, on sailboats, on land and sea tours, at beach lines, at our restaurants, shops and bars, and at our national festivals. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Welcome back. The police service launched its diplomatic security unit at the St. Clair Police Station on Friday, designed to protect members of the diplomatic corps while reinforcing T&T's position as the Caribbean's diplomatic capital. We hear more in this report.
To our diplomatic community, let us reassure you, the government of Trinidad and Tobago remains committed to your safety and security. We intend to protect you by any lawful means necessary.
Speaking at the launch of the TTPS's Diplomatic Security Unit on Friday,
Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander said this specialized unit is focused on safeguarding foreign diplomats in the country.
We cannot allow criminals to create fear. We cannot allow gangs and organized crime to weaken our nation. And we would not ever allow anyone to interfere with the peace of our diplomatic corps.
Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Sean Sobers, emphasized that the strengthened security is essential to sustaining international partnerships.
We ensure that our international partners possess the complete peace of mind necessary to engage in deep bilateral dialogue, expand trade relations, and foster cultural exchange. This initiative directly complements our ongoing strategic campaign to take Trinidad and Tobago to the world, sending an unmistakable signal to global capitals that our country is a secure, sophisticated, and premier jurisdiction for international engagement.
The international news is coming up next. Stay with us.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. $250,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Tuesday, June 2nd. It's $250,000. More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Welcome back. On the international scene, Japan and Taiwan have grown closer politically and strategically in recent years, driven by shared concerns over China's expanding regional influence. The relationship is visible in Taiwan's enthusiastic support for Japan's tourism sector, which has seen a sharp drop in visitors from mainland China. Growing uncertainty over U.S. reliability in any future confrontation with China has further deepened their interdependence. We hear more in this report.
It's a tourism and travel event staged in Taiwan annually by the prefectures of northeast Japan since the earthquake and tsunami they suffered in 2011 to help them recover. And its organisers hope it will help overcome Japan's current crisis with their East Asian neighbour, China.
The support and the care that Taiwanese people gave to Japan built up our very strong relations. So we hope the Taiwanese will also visit and support us now.
All around Taiwan is evidence of Japan's colonial rule during the first half of the last century. It's remembered as a time of repression, but also credited with modernizing this island and cementing Japan's popularity among Taiwanese, who now find vacation bargains galore given Japan's lack of tourists from mainland China.
Now there are no tourists from China, but many people from Taiwan.
And where they find an affinity with people also on the receiving end of what they see as Chinese aggression.
Basically, what Japan is experiencing, we have gone through. Now that the Japanese are being bullied, we've got to support them.
With strong similarities politically and economically, Taiwan and Japan are also very close geographically. It means Tokyo regards any Chinese threat to its southern island neighbour as a risk to its own security. With Japan's increased military spending, combined with the hawkish policies of Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi, Japan and Taiwan present a barrier to China's expanding influence into the East China Sea and the Pacific beyond. And with increasing questions over the reliability of their traditional ally, the US, in any confrontation with China, Japan and Taiwan have common cause to rely more closely on each other. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Taipei.
That's the news. Sports is just ahead. But before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
The weather report sponsored by General Hardware.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentions for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Present conditions, partly cloudy and slightly hazy. Winds east-northeast at 9 kilometers per hour. Temperature 27.3 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 81%. Barometric pressure 1014.4 millibars. 24-hour rainfall 0.4 millimeters. Today's maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature 24.6 degrees Celsius. Sunset 6:28 p.m. and sunrise will be at 5:37 a.m. The forecast: partly cloudy to cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers. The synopsis: the Atlantic high pressure system is the dominant feature.
The weather report was sponsored by General Hardware.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. $250,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Tuesday, June 2nd. It's $250,000. More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Good evening and welcome to the Evening Sports. I'm Triska Campbell. We hear that Ireland women moved top of the Ivara Tri-Nation Women's 2020 International Cricket Series table after completing a one-run victory by the Ducksworth-Lewis-Stern method over West Indies women in the tournament's fourth match in Dublin, Ireland on Monday. It was Ireland's first win over the West Indies in the 2020 international format. Chasing 142 in 20 overs, Captain Orla Prendergast held Ireland's chase together with an unbeaten 46 ball 71 from number 4. But it was number 7, Louise Little's boundary at the start of the 15th over that was just as important. Little's 4 pushed Ireland's to 99 for 5 after 14.1 overs, and importantly, beyond the Ducksworth-Lewis method par of 98 at the time. After which bad weather stopped play, Ireland were declared victors, with play not resuming again. Ireland and West Indies now have 2 wins in 3 games, while Pakistan, the other team, are winless after 2 matches. Here at home, the month of June has been dubbed Association Collaboration Month by the Division of Sports and Physical Activities within the Ministry of Sports. The initiative seeks to engage with the various sporting governing bodies to create the best possible opportunities for the various student athletes. According to a press release, the intent is to increase collaborative efforts, foster all possible partnerships on school competitions, take suggestions, and have discussions toward program development, bilateral support structures, as well as technical assistance and advice. The first of these meetings was held with the SVG National Olympic Committee President Stephen Joachim and General Secretary Keith Joseph on Thursday, May 28th. There are also proposed meetings with the SVG Football Federation and the SVG Squash Association, which would have been held today, Tuesday, June 2nd. The Cricket Association, Inc. is set for Wednesday, June 3rd, and the SVG Archery Association on Thursday, June 4th. A date for the SVG Netball Association has yet to be determined. Chara Stars outclassed the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Welfare Association Rising Stars 2, beating them 45 goals to 1 in the Vitamalt Youth Development Division of the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Netball Championships at the New Montrose National Netball Center yesterday. Games are slated to continue this evening at the same venue, with action in the youth division as well as the men's division. In cricket here at home now, the National Lotteries Authority Top Belair Progressive Organization TBPO 2020 Softball Cricket Championship saw several games played last weekend at the Daphne playing field. In Game 1 on Sunday, Daphne United beat Greg's Young Stars by 4 wickets. The scores: Greg Young Stars 145 for 9 off 20 overs. Daphne United 149 for 6 off 15.3 overs. In Game 2 on Sunday, Dr. Thomas Injectors defeated East Kingstown by 84 runs. The scores: Dr. Thomas Injectors 200 for 9 off 20 overs and East Kingstown 116 for 9 off their 20 overs. Meantime, on Saturday, Game 1 saw Duck Squad United win by default over Vinlek Power Stars, and Game 2 on Saturdays between Country Meets Town out of trouble and Fairbairn United was called off because of rain. That's how we end sports this evening. I'm Triska Campbell. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
This Tuesday, June 2nd, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $82,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $82,000. This Tuesday, June 2nd, you have to be in it to win it.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They're doing general hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Welcome back. Now for a second look at the headlines. Government prepared for 2026 hurricane season, but urges citizens to remain vigilant. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service establishes new police unit to guard foreign diplomats in the country. Japan and Taiwan grow closer as concerns over China's regional influence rises. And in sports, Ireland women beat Windies women to move top Ivara Tri-Nation T20 series. Now for a recap of the local weather forecast. The forecast: partly cloudy to cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy with a chance of isolated showers. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I am Twyla Thompson, inviting you to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also, check out SVG-TV's News in 15 weekdays at 12:45 p.m. Again, thanks for viewing and enjoy the rest of your evening.
SVG's Heart and Soul. Magic 103.7, 91.5. Today's music, yesterday's hits.
24 karat.